Arena. I am Valdez. Joining with me today is Moonlade, and we just had Biel take out our undefeated winners ranking winner at 7-0. He's now 7-1. That was Innovation.
Yeah, bit of an upset there. A little bit of an overcommittal from Innovation on his harassment, but you know it happens. There's a reason Biel comes out on merry-go-round quite often. It's because he is damn good at the matchup, and he is damn good at that map. And I'm so happy we got to see him win this one.
And of course, there's a reason why players don't stay undefeated for long. It's because Pro League has some of the best in the world in Korea playing here day after day against each other. We do have sKyHigh from Innovation, or rather from CJ Entis from Innovation. From Innovation. He was born of the blood of Innovation. No, he's coming in here for CJ Entis. And he's got that downwards purple arrow, but we just haven't really seen him that much these days.
Yeah, we don't get to see him much at all. He's kind of like his heyday was last year when he was playing Hot 6 Cup, where he saw a lot of fantastic TVT and some TVP. Not much of his TVZ. I think it must be his weakest matchup. Yeah, that's pretty much all we've seen from him at all. He has not done much. He failed to qualify from GSL, losing to sKyHigh and Ruin. So a couple of Protosses. And here is soO, my boy. I love this guy. Yeah. Qualified for GSL, defeating Bunny and Cure, looking very strong in ZVT. I got to perv on all his games when I was at the GSL qualifiers. I came home a happy boy. And he lost his most recent ZVT and Pro League match to Yoda last week. Some pretty iffy sort of decision-making in a ZD mech. Hopefully we don't see that again. It's very possible on this map as well, actually. We do see mech occasionally.
Yeah, I'm really hoping, he's got that all settled out and just, solidified. As you were saying, in the qualifiers, just looking really good in this matchup. So really hoping he's going to take this one down for SK Telecom. They need it here. They're down 0-2. And I put my vote on him, as well as you, I think, did as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to see the full scope of things. I'm not sure if we're going to see it. Okay, we do. 6 votes here for soO, and 0 for sKyHigh.
If soO can beat Cure 2-0 in a GSL qualifier, I think he can handle sKyHigh.
I would have to agree with you there. Cure definitely a very, very strong Terran here. I'd say top 5 in Korea, maybe the world. He's just very, very strong.
Well,
and
Cure has like some of the best TVZ as well. He's always very impressive in that matchup.
Very, very true, Moonlade. So soO looking good. Can he get this one here up against sKyHigh? We jump into game 3 here in just a moment, guys. sKyHigh versus soO on Vaani Research Station.
As the game loads.
And the game has been loaded, guys. Let's jump into the game here. sKyHigh versus soO. Down here in the south, in the yellow for CJ Entis, the Terran player, he is sKyHigh.
And up top, we do have, for SKT1, it is soO. As handsome as ever.
Yeah, looking good. He's got his makeup and hair done.
You look at this guy and you don't think of someone who's insanely fast, but I think he must be one of the fastest... now streaming...
first day in Korea, first day of Pro League, now streamed on OGaming TV.
Wow.
Welcome down to the studio.
Handsome gentleman. Well done, buddy.
Yeah, glad you're here, enjoying the games.
Now let me talk about soO.
Talk about
because
it, I want to listen to you talk about soO for like 20 minutes.
Well, I could do it all day, actually, but the one thing I was more impressed about than anything else was just how fast this guy was. He seems like one of the fastest Zergs we do have out here, obviously Lasira being one of them as well, but he was actually very, very quick. I was genuinely impressed by that. It was something I was not expecting. I was expecting, like, I don't know why, but I expected him to be like Nesty kind of speed, but like pretty fast, but not that fast. Maybe like 200, 250 APM, kind of older, young sort of speed. But no, he was next level, man. There's a reason why he's
quick
so good.
Lad.
He's a quick lad, man. I don't even know how old is he, but he looks pretty old. But must not be that old. Maybe that's just
I don't know. I'm not actually sure of soO's age. I don't know why that's like never come up in any conversation. But
well, I mean, like I look at him, I'm like, this is probably a mid-20s Korean guy, from what I think.
Yeah, looks around there.
Probably wrong. He's probably like 18 or something, just aged incredibly fast.
Well, you know, that actually happened to me with Flash. Was I thought he was like much older because I know he's been around for so long, but I didn't realize how early he started his career. So I was like, well, he's probably like, you know, around my age, like at least 23, maybe 24, 25. He's like 20 years old, 21 years old. This guy is like,
yeah, they start
really
young, man. They just skip school and go right into the boot camps at 15 and stuff, man. It's actually crazy how young they start.
Yeah. It's really cool, actually, when you think about it. It's kind of like, I don't know. Wolf likes to say they're Jedi a lot. I tend to agree with that statement. You know, they just have to only focus on this thing only. There's no school, no girls. It definitely affects their play when you know those kind of things do get involved.
Absolutely.
So definitely had to avoid all that and just only focus on StarCraft.
Well, I wish at 15 I was like getting into a pro gaming house to start my career as whatever game I was playing, man. That would have been the dream back then. I used to like sit in high school and just read about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I'm like, man, that's cool. I never thought back then I could ever do it or even try and get there, but I could respect it a lot.
Definitely, man. You got to respect these guys. They dedicate their lives, or a significant portion of it, to playing this game. And not only is StarCraft 2 pro gamers, there's a lot of other pro gamers out here doing the same thing for other games. Got to respect them as well. Although StarCraft, one of the most brutal, I have to say. The 1v1 atmosphere, just it's all your fault if you lose. You got to just be better than the other guy. It's like a brawl out there.
The most skillful game of all, the hardest in every way. It's no secret, Valdez.
Yeah, man.
So we do see soO, you know, he went for greedy 16 gas sort of build, so he's going to get his Speedlings out nice and early to shut down anything that might come his way and, you know, take map control for just a little while. And sKyHigh, you know, just playing pretty normal.
Yeah, just normal stuff all around.
I'm trying to like, think of actually.
did sKyHigh go for CC first? We were having like a pretty in-depth conversation about other stuff.
No, he didn't go for CC first. His second orbital only just finished then. So he went for kind of like the standard sort of build, but he didn't go for Reaper. He just went for Factory Reactor with a couple of Marines to kind of block out any sort of Overlord scouting. soO's going to find out exactly what's going on as he moves up here. He's like, oh, okay. He went for Hellions pretty quickly. Yeah. And a starport behind it. So he's most likely going to be Hellion Banshee. Not a bad idea. Creep spread to the third base is a little bit tricky on this map. You want to start pretty early, but it looks like soO's going to be staying on 2 base for a little while. Not a bad choice on this map.
Yeah, you think he's going to go into that kind of Spire tech, just look to get out the mutas very early on?
Yeah, I think so for sure. It's a good map for it too, because you just block the ramp with Queens. There's no way Hellion's going to get up there. Put a Spine down as well if you feel, and you're pretty much immune to anything. Maybe it gets a little bit trickier if we see a number of Banshees come out. He might want to try bully the ramp, hurt the Queens a bit.
We actually just saw the vision that the Zerglings gained by going up the ramp there. They actually didn't see the starport or the third CC coming up here, but he's got that Overlord moving into position right now to see that. So he's going to get the scout on the third CC at least.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good for soO here.
Yeah, so very fast Spire. Not much else. No Baneling Nest either. He's getting that third hatchery down, and lucky for soO, you know, there's nothing else in the way just yet. Oh, as I say, that armory goes down. Here comes a problem, Valdez.
Oh, yeah, man.
Here comes a big problem. He's going to get soO's trying to get a lot of Queens out, but he's going to need more than Queens. He's going to need a lot of Zerglings, and if he has no Bane Nest, he's going to need a lot of Zerglings to get this done. Very scary situation. sKyHigh making the right choice.
How many Hellions does he have right now? Will you check that for me?
Currently, he's got 6, and he's got 2 more on the way, so he's going to have a decent size by the time the armory is finished.
We do see the Overseer coming in here. He is going to see at least the cloak of the Banshees on the way, so he did get that one piece of information.
Sure.
Can prepare for that.
Spire half done. So that's one sort of redeeming thing if he can hold on till then, but I think it's going to come a lot sooner than that.
Yeah, Armory does go down, and I believe he wasn't able to get the scout down on that, so very key piece of information that soO is missing right now. Cloak just finished up. He is going to see the Hellbats moving onto his creep, so he's going to know now.
Yeah, he's going to be sweating just a little bit. Unless he gets a really fantastic surround, he might have to even let that third go. I don't know how he's going to engage in that. He's going to need all his Queens to come down as well. Ooh, he cannot fight them just yet. He needs the Queens to kind of take some of the hits. He's got 5 Queens, so it might be enough if he can get a surround.
He's looking to get that surround right now. Gets a decent one on the left side. A lot of those queens in the back doing a really nice job fighting as well. But all of the links have gone down. And look at that Banshee getting 8 kills in the meantime.
Oh, goodness. I mean, you know, when you think about it, even if there's maybe 2 Banshees with those Hellbats, it could have done a lot more as well. It's one other thing to kind of think about. Instead, these Banshees are actually doing considerable drone damage, which I guess is also a pretty important thing.
Yeah, of course, man. He's already gotten 12 kills here. The mutas are out, though, and should be able to push these guys back.
And we are seeing mech, by the way, Valdez.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, I called it. I knew it. Especially with sKyHigh. You know, he seems like a mech kind of guy. Yeah, it just really seems to fit him. And Hellbats, you know, now they're getting some momentum on the left side there. Queen's getting pretty low. Muta's out there, so it should be able to clean it up.
Yeah, and that's a lot of queens here. I expect when soO, you know, gets to hold off all this harass, I would assume he would come in here, you know, see all the factories coming down and be like, okay, you're going back. I think he's going to be able to stabilize, get that creep spread, get all those bases down. I think we'll see a bit of a longer one here.
Yeah, we should definitely see a longer one. But, I mean, we did see soO play against Mech last week, and we weren't too impressed by his kind of decision-making in the game. But let's see if he's learned from that. And he's not in the most commanding position going into it either. He's realized his mech, but he's like, he's only just droned up his 3rd base. He's still, like, kind of stabilized. He's dealt with the harassment, but he did lose a lot of drones. So he's not where he wants to be just yet. He hasn't really identified it and taken a big economic lead like he should against mech.
Yeah, well, he is going to get that 4th base down now. So at least he's going to begin the process of, you know, just taking the whole map. He knows that he's got a lot of time here against mech. And he is also getting the double upgrades at the same time as getting the road speed. Going to make a macro hatch here in the main as well.
Yeah. Mutas have really found nothing this game either. They came out late, they defended well, they've seen what's there, and now that Thors are out, they can't really find anything else. So I'm really curious to see if soO's going to really commit to a lot of roaches. We do see 11 on the way already. He could actually just be going for, you know, a bit of a massive roach attack while the Thors are the main production unit. No tanks on the map yet, and it doesn't seem like there's going to be any for now. Simply staying with Thor and Banshee.
Yeah, that is a lot of roaches, man. He's going to have +1/+1 as well as roach speed lining up here pretty nicely.
The only scary thing is that we do see 3 Banshees with this mix. Makes things a little bit trickier as well.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be wanting to fight with those queens for just a little bit of extra targeting
Mutas,
here.
what?
Oh, man. One of them going down before the fight even begins. These queens a little bit caught out here as well.
Queens are going to help really a lot against the Banshee in this sort of situation. We'll see if the Mutas actually focus him down as well. Roach speed just about to finish, so it's going to be a good engagement. +1/1. That's a lot of roaches. That's more than enough to clean this up.
He's got a really nice concave here as well. Those Banshees doing some decent damage, but the queens in the back going to push him back, force those Banshees to micro.
Oh, I want to see the Mutas come in and clean up these Banshees. Oh, that's such an important thing. I think he really missed out on an opportunity there. If he actually managed to clean up the Banshees, then it becomes so much easier to just win the game. As we see 4 CCs on the way. What the hell? What are we seeing?
Oh, my God.
And I think he might be able to win this with a roach attack. There's only, oh, now there's 2 tanks. It might make things a little bit harder. 3 tanks, sorry. Yeah. 3 tanks, 2 Banshees, 2 Thors. That's a lot of damage, a lot of DPS against roaches.
I think soO is thinking about putting the counterattack on, but looks like he's just going to back off for now, defend against these Hellions, and just kind of stabilize a little bit more, I guess. Yes. But, man, that is just so many CCs.
It is so many CCs. Wow.
He's putting down more.
Yeah, he is. That's
so
actually,
I guess why not?
This is next level sort of mech style, man. This is pure greed mech style. sKyHigh showing how big his balls are, man.
Showing how it's done, man.
Swinging them in front of soO's face like, yep.
This is what I got, man. I'm going to show it to you right now in front of your face. But soO, he's looking to punish this. He doesn't want this to happen, of course. He's got a lot of roaches coming over to this CC, going to force a lift. The other one was not able to land at that base in the middle at either. And I think sKyHigh's got to stabilize here a little bit more. But, oh, my God, those tanks not seized, and a lot of roaches moving in.
Yeah, these roaches, they're going to do a lot of damage. They might actually be enough to clean everything up. There's still some survive. Only 2 tanks left. And the Thors, they're dwindling.
Yeah. This just looks like way too much Zerg right now. The entire mech army gets cleaned up here. Look at those supplies. We do have a lot of tanks for the follow-up, as well as not much to kill those Banshees. So they were getting a decent amount of damage done here. sKyHigh's like, yeah, okay, I held off your attack. Now I'm going to expand to 2 bases at the same time.
Now I'm going to double expand with planetaries, set up tanks there, set up tower turrets, and, you know, just go for another 20 minutes. Because why not?
Yeah, I mean... Okay. soO's going for a 5th base here. I thought he would have just gone for a counterattack, but I guess just...
I think it's good. I think it's a good idea. Though, I mean, it's such a hard position because he's going to let 2 bases go up for sKyHigh. sKyHigh going to be essentially halving the map, which is a very sort of scary situation against mech, as we did see soO get into last week.
Yeah. I'm sure that sKyHigh watched that game and he's like, okay, all I got to do is practice my mech style. I'll be just fine.
It seems that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
soO trying to find what he can early on. Not getting the killing blow, though, which is the big thing against mech. Obviously, in this kind of situation and this kind of style, like, you have so many orbitals, you just catch up so quickly in economy, or you jump ahead in economy and stabilize so easily.
Also, Bluefell and Hellions coming in here in the back of the 4th base, getting some decent kills. They will be cleaned up by the Roaches. Some more Hellions going into the main.
Oh, not much in the main there. Not too much. You know, getting a little bit of kills. If he was +3, he'd be doing a lot more with those 2 Hellions. But still, 9 kills, actually. That's quite a lot. Lots of tanks in the way. Only 1 starport so far, which is a bit surprising, in my opinion. You want to see another one, at least, so you can get that Viking count out and get the Raven count up. Because you want to that late-game Raven ball, which is going to really make things a lot easier, especially against Swarm hosts when you start secreting them, as well as any sort of corrupt the Swarm. Already more than enough tanks to deal with these Locusts as well.
Yeah, and look at this. As you're saying that, Moonblade, he's listening to the cast. He's making 4 starports.
Excellent. That's exactly what I want to see.
As well as that fusion core on the way.
He actually plays it like it's BGH, man. Like, it's actually crazy how greedy he is. He's like, you know what, I'll make 4 CCs at once. I'm going to make all my production once, too. Like, it's actually hilarious how he's playing this game.
I mean, I guess the idea is just that, okay, the Zerg, he's going to be looking to take a lot of bases, and I guess I'll just do this while he's doing that to try to get ahead as well, just like out-greed the Zerg, because, you know, the Zerg definitely does have to play greedy against Mag very early on, try to get those bases out, try to get your economy very far ahead, try to build a bank as well, and the sKyHigh just saying, I can do that too.
Yeah. Now it's kind of stabilized this sort of situation as the tanks kill the Locusts forever, as the Locusts come at the tanks forever. Both players kind of just getting to their max, their desired army, desired composition. As we do see BCs on the way, plus tanks. So these Ultralisks, I don't know what they're going to be able to do in this sort of situation. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough, as we already see a couple of Vikings out as well, and some Infestors.
Yep. This is a really cool run by. soO just using some of those Roaches that are left over. This is a lot of Banshees, though, for the cleanup. He's able to catch 1 tank, but not much else. Three Infestors have been made, as well as those 5 Ultralisks. Let's see if soO wants to go for an engagement anytime soon. Looks like at the same time sKyHigh trying to expand with one of his 15 CCs that he's made.
Yeah, essentially. Going for that gold now. And, I mean, I look at soO's army and I question it. I'm wondering, how do you think you're going to fare against that many Banshees, that many tanks and Thors in a good position near a planetary? What's your goal here? Are you going to simply try and, you know, blinding cloud everything and just run over it?
I guess he's really relying on some, like, money fungals on a big air ball from the Terran, you know? Some of these Swarmos kind of have to back off, a couple of them being taken out at the same time. The Ultralisk coming from the left side.
Here we go. Blinding cloud's going down. Yeah, that Ultralisk from the left's actually doing a lot of work.
They're doing a ton of work, man. They're taking out so many of these tanks and pushing forward on the top as well.
Still, though, I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah.
As I say that, the Locusts are coming back in. And there's not that many tanks anymore, only 5. I don't know if that's actually going to be enough to clean these up before damage is done.
When we got 6 more Ultralisks on the way. Looks like he will be able to hold it off for now. These BCs are on a mission to take out a base, it looks like.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I guess getting rid of the gold is a pretty good idea. But, yeah, look at the banks as well. soO's still got a pretty healthy bank despite his max, and sKyHigh still on his way back up there, but much, much lower. Queens versus BCs, no one's dying at the moment until those Banshees come in.
Yep, Banshees coming in. One Viper swings by, says hello, and then runs away. A lot of drones going down somewhere.
Yeah, there's a Hellion run by into the natural, now into the main base. Finding, yeah, a lot of kills. Actually, let me have a look at the drone count here. We have 62 drones still for soO. I think most of them must be in the middle there. No? They're just really spread out. And
finally,
wow.
some Corruptors come out here to deal with these BCs.
Yeah. soO's favorite unit.
Yeah, man. What did he make in that game? It was something like 75? Something ridiculous like that?
Yeah, 75. But I don't know about these BCs being out in the middle of nowhere as well. Normally you'd want a bit bigger of a ball before you start going into the middle of the map and trying to kill a base. And, I mean, he's trading, I guess, decently, but he's kind of all over the place as well. We see Banshees in the main base. Hellion run by into the third, going into the natural now. So everything's kind of happening everywhere at once. He's really trying to cripple the economy of soO.
That planetary over to the right side just goes down to a bunch of Ultras. And these Hellions still doing a decent amount of damage. 15 more drones go down from that harass.
Wow. That is quite a decent amount of economic damage, considering sKyHigh's remains completely intact with so many orbitals.
Yeah, but one thing you mentioned before, the banks are pretty important as well. sKyHigh having a bit of trouble building that up here. It looks like he's finally reaching max, so he's starting to build that up. Oh, and this is a lot of Hellions coming in. He's going to totally decimate that gold base.
25 go down? What? Oh, my God.
We see soO remaking a ton of drones. He's making 11 right now.
Yeah. And now we have max, essentially, for sKyHigh. He's got quite the scary air army. And I'm looking at, we got 13 Corruptors this time. 13 Corruptors, 1 Viper, 5 Queens, 2 Infestors. That's all your anti-air. And you're up against 10 Vikings, 6 BCs, and 2 Ravens.
Oh, God. And these Hellions run-bys just do not stop. You know, one of the mistakes that soO actually made was, well, I don't know if it was a mistake, but he just, like, never remade his economy in that other game. And he was, like, following Hellions with Broodlords. It was kind of scary. God. Oh, he misses that line out there.
16 still there. Yeah, this is actually getting out of hand. This is simply too much damage.
Yeah.
The bank for sKyHigh is now higher simply from Hellion run-bys. That should not have happened like that.
I think sKyHigh did a really nice job of identifying that soO is very weak to this kind of play, and he's like, okay, I can do this as well.
There's enough Yamato cannons to wipe out half the Corruptors before the fight even begins.
Wow.
Yeah, things are actually getting really bad for soO. His composition is not what he needs.
Yeah. And look at this. The Raven Ball is beginning. He's already gotten 6. He's making 3 at a time. He's also got tanks. He's making more CCs.
Ooh, and here we go. He's going to try for it. Nice Blinding Cloud. Is it going to be enough, though? I don't know. That's so many Yamato cannons, so many Vikings and BCs. Oh, look at this Seeker Missile going into the center of the BCs, doing a chunk of damage.
Those Ultras doing a decent amount of damage on the ground, but still that giant air army for the Terran remains. It's going to clean up everything here in the sky for the Zerg.
Yeah, very easily. And Ultra's not going to do anything. Down it goes.
Yeah, and look at this. He's re-maxing kind of here. He's not at max yet, but he's making like 25 Corruptors. That's his answer right now.
Wow.
Whereas sKyHigh's still got a very, very solid economy. He's just making more and more Ravens. He's going to have so many PDDs for this huge Corruptor army.
Yeah, I like it. Raven, Viking army. Obviously gets enough tanks to deal with the Locust as well. You can never forget about the tanks in this kind of situation, or we're going to see Planetary start to get whittled down by Locusts.
Oh,
and here we go. Again, Hellions coming in.
More run-bys.
Oh my god, and soO cannot afford this. Look at his bank right now. There's no bank. There's no bank anymore. 14 drones go down to 4 Hellions. And he's stuck with a Corruptor Ball and nothing else.
He is finally getting those +3 upgrades at least for his melee and missile attacks. So I guess that'll help him out a bit here. But still looking not so good for soO so far. Let's see what he can do to try to come back in this game. morphing into Hellbats. Those infestors have to be very careful.
And he sees the corruptible, which is pretty important as well. So he knows exactly the kind of army he's dealing with. So he kind of just has to shape an army to deal with that. And I mean, with 9 Ravens, about 12 Vikings, and only a few BCs for now, he should be pretty equipped to deal with them.
Oh my god. More run-bys, man. It just never ends.
I think it's such a smart idea. I mean, there's not a sufficient enough defense for this. No units in place. Obviously, when you've got nothing but infestors and corruptors and queens, like, you can run around in circles.
And that's exactly what soO does to follow. He just like runs around circles in his base trying to clear these Hellions back, and the turn just gets so far ahead with it in terms of economy. We see soO continuously remaking those drones, though, at least.
At least. I mean, that's all he can do at this point. He's been doing it for the last 5 minutes, just making drones. And here we go with the engagement. Hellion's going to come into the infestors. A lot of damage happening. Well, some great Seeker missiles.
Oh, nice micro there. He's going to be able to split one of those corruptors off.
Now the economy for sKyHigh gets pretty powerful once again. You know, getting that gold base going to prolong the game even longer. Terran's not going to be starving anytime soon. And here we go with the big fight finally. Is this going to be enough?
Bunch of Seeker missiles coming in here. The BC's fighting in the back as
Oh,
well.
that micro! Oh!
Blowing up a lot of Vikings there, actually.
Very
Is
impressive.
it going to be enough? A lot of infested Terrans on the ground actually doing a decent job against the BCs. Fighting with the Corruptors.
I think this actually might be enough for soO. I think he might be cleaning this up here. Still a lot of Vikings, but even more Corruptors.
Yeah. 12 Corruptors left over right now. And only 4 Vikings now, so finally soO will be able to clean up the Terran air army here. Again, more run-bys coming into the gold base this time. Going to clean up a lot of drones here.
Probably like the one redeeming thing for sKyHigh at this point. You know, he is getting these run-bys consistently. And now an attack onto the planetary. One Ultra should help out a lot. Oh, but here comes the Hellions. This is so important.
Yeah, going to be able to help clean up all those Zerglings. And soO's got to be really careful not to throw his lead doing stuff like this. You know, you don't want to lose a bunch of units in this situation here. Although it looks like sKyHigh kind of throwing away a bunch of Hellbats to push those guys back.
Now, I wonder what sKyHigh's kind of, what's he thinking now? Does he think, now that I've lost this air war, should I just go for like 4 tank Hellbat and like control the ground and keep control of the ground? Because no doubt soO's kind of hurting for money at this point with this many Hellbat run-bys, and we're seeing more as we speak. I mean, can he actually just take it from there, or is he going to go back into the air army that he lost? Very expensive, gas-heavy air army, and try again.
Well, it looks like it, man. He's already remaking those Ravens. He's got 3 right now.
Yeah,
and making 3 more.
Seems to be making some on the way. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. I guess soO's bank, regardless of whatever he decides to make, it has been hurt quite sufficiently. There is a lot of Ultralists on the ground, actually.
Yeah. Ultralists against tanks do a pretty good job here. They need some support,
wow.
though, and here we go. Blinding Clouds as well as the... Or, no, that's Corruption. And a bunch of these Locusts pushing forward as well, going to force sKyHigh to back off. Oh, look at this. 2 tanks not going to cut it for the defense here.
Yeah, that's going to go down, and soO gaining momentum in this game. Has the supply lead at the moment. Man, these Locusts have just been such a pain in the ass all game long, creating such awkward situations. sKyHigh trying to get that army back, making Banshees as well. He seems to be fully committing to air at this point. Banshees, Vikings, Ravens.
Yeah. And Hellions, of course, for more run-bys a little bit later.
Oh, as I say that, we also have a lot of tanks. Still a lot of tanks. Still needs to deal with these Locusts and Swarm Hosts.
It's just like at what point does the Zerg economy just die? Like, it's killed so many of these workers, although at the same time we do see 25 SCVs go down.
Yeah, that's true.
So soO trying to even things up here. You guys can see in the top right, the worker supply, it's 35 to 37 right now.
Yeah, very true. Ooh, Hellbat's kind of getting caught out, but there's so many tanks here, which is going to do pretty damn good against this army. He's going to need more Vipers in this. And I'm kind of liking sKyHigh's army, even though he's down in supply. It's still, it's as long as it's in position, doesn't get incredibly blinding clouded, it could do a lot of work.
Kind of scared for those swarm hosts. They're all by themselves over there at the watchtower right now, and it looks like
this could be
sKyHigh
it.
Wants to push forward.
Ooh,
no, he
man.
doesn't go for it.
Oh, that was one opportunity for like one shot.
You know, like, he doesn't really see what we see, of course, so he couldn't have actually known at the time that they were all alone.
He scans now, though. He sees it. Is he going to go for it? I think he might. Oh, he's scanning ahead. He's like, okay, this is my chance to one-shot them. Oh, he gets one. Can't get fungal, though. That would be a mistake. That would be bad.
You don't want to lose all those Hellions. He's got 23 right now.
Yeah. 3 more Banshees on the way, as well as Vikings. This composition is good if he wins the air war. If he wins the air war, he can essentially win the game from here because both banks are so low. Like, the next fight is going to say it all.
Look at this. This is really cool. Taking the left side of this base. Just putting that CC where it's close enough.
Yeah. Kind of like that.
He's got to land that base somewhere.
Oh, my God. Well, there goes a free orbital.
Well, he's got 10 more behind it.
But, you know what? It kind of gives an opening here if the air of sKyHigh wants to kind of try something up here. While the Corruptors are completely out of position.
He's taking the gases now at this base. I think he has cleared up that creep, but...
There's one tumor left near the gold pot.
Okay.
Yeah, but essentially...
Well, both players near max now. soO actually maxed out here. And sKyHigh about to be as well. Just more scans going down. Wants to see exactly what the composition is like, where those units are positioned. soO never got the +3 upgrade for his air.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake. And as we go into the big fight, this one's going to decide a lot here. It's going to be the fight for the gold base, essentially. A lot of blinding clouds going down, but still a lot of tanks at the back shooting. And I think the air war has been won by sKyHigh. You just need to start focusing these Banshees onto something important like these Ultras.
Yeah, not on the infested Terrans right now. And there he goes. He's trying to target down these infestors. Already getting one. He's going to get a second one here. This could be very key. He's getting so many of these infestors.
God. So much damage. He's going to go for the swarm host now. That's such an important kill. These things are so expensive, and they are essentially what's keeping soO in these games. Has been really applying pressure all game long.
Oh man, look at this. 2 free Vipers just get popped there. And sKyHigh is still on the chase. There's not much here for soO to defend. He's running back his Swarmhost into the main base at the same time.
Well, look at exactly what soO is remaxing on. It's Ultralisk and Zerglings. He's making a couple of Infestors, but he has no anti-air right now. And I think sKyHigh has realized this, and he's just going to kill everything. He's even going for the Swarmhosts, which are right at the back of the main base. What on earth are we seeing?
We see a couple of these Ultralisks coming in, but already still left over are a ton of tanks back here for sKyHigh, and he's going to be able to clean those up.
Wow, soO has lost this game again. Somehow,
oh my God, man.
His decision-making or his unit composition is, I guess his failure to make anti-air units to this point has really cost him.
Yeah, you cannot rely on infested Terrans and Fungals, that's for sure.
Man, what a crazy game, and I think we're going to see CJ3-0 SKT.
That is a huge blow. I don't think anyone could have predicted that, man.
No way, man. That is insane. That is such an upset.
Yeah, just looking at the army supplies right now, I mean, sKyHigh doesn't have much of economy in terms of workers. Of course, he's got a ton of mules, but he's got a much bigger army, and there's nothing that soO can use right now to answer to this. Base is going down.
Supply
Overlord's
blocks.
going down.
Critically supply blocks.
Yeah, look at that. 105 of 60.
Doesn't have pathogen glands for his infestors. I just saw it before it died.
Oh my God.
Yeah, a bit of a shaky game for soO once again. I'm so sorry I hyped him so hard, but I know he can play so good. Just in these early games, he just seems to fail. GG.
GG. sKyHigh wins against soO. And I believe that was another 6-0 prediction going to soO there, if I'm not mistaken. And sKyHigh is able to pull it out.
Some sick upsets today, man. This is not the Ace Monday that we're used to.
Couple of 3-0s today, man.
This is the Ruffle Stomp Monday.
Wow. Really unbelievable, man. You know, maybe what this day lacked in excitement just, like, kind of brought the surprise and just, like, amazement of many fans and casters, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a great day. Lots of really interesting games. Just some pretty big upsets with SPL and
yeah. That was a really good game.
SPL and sKyHigh.
You really got to give it to him. sKyHigh's mech play is very strong.
It was actually
Very
really
strong.
impressive.
Really nice.
I love how much like orbitals he just throws down in like early mid games. Like, you know what, I'm gonna throw 4 CCs down.
He's like, okay, you're gonna start expanding. I'm totally fine. Here we go.
Then I'm gonna make
drop the CCs.
8 production buildings behind that. It's like, might as well just play BGH, bro.
And he like just barely survived that roach attack. In that moment, I'm like, oh my god, is soO just about to win the game? But the Banshees just barely kept him alive.
I think the damage early on kind of really slowed down soO's momentum going into that sort of early game roach attack like that.
Yeah.
Like, if he maybe didn't take like that many drone hits, he could have maybe, you know, just killed him then.
Yeah. He's really got to work on his defense against Hellions, man. That's one thing I'll say, just looking at that one game. But here we go, guys. CJ Entis 3-0s SK Telecom T1. Hero takes down Dark. Biel takes out Innovation, who was once undefeated. And then sKyHigh takes out soO. We don't even get to see Byung versus Dream. That I did not expect, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, I was really interested in that match as well, because I wanted to see if Byung could do it again. But, oh, well, I guess we'll wait till next time. Great win for CJ. Very important win at this stage of the round.
Yeah. Really, really interesting matches here. KT looking pretty decent against Prime. You know, not the hardest team, but they're able to 3-0, get a lot of points. So maybe we'll see the resurgence of KT here in round number 2. I'm really hoping. And here you go, guys. The winners ranking so far. Innovation with that loss. He's still on top, as he does still have 7 wins. But Hero now has tied him at 7 wins. Stats gets a win today. Dark does not get that win. And he could have been up there at 7 wins as well if he had won. Life gets his win. Byung doesn't get to play. If he had won today, he could have had 7 wins. And Biel, he goes up there to 6. So he joins all the guys up there, tied for 3rd.
Yeah, some pretty impressive stats there. It was good to see Hero up there once again. You know, he was leading the way last season. Like, he's really is the ace player for CJ at this point.
Where's SOS?
Awkward.
Not even in the top here in the winners rankings. Some pretty disappointing play, especially against Zerg. I hope he comes back eventually.
Yeah, he's
one of my favorite players.
He's working on it, yeah. He'll be back one day.
Yeah.
I'm sure.